Most service-based CEOs don't struggle with pricing because they're greedy or inexperienced or try charging too much. They struggle because they're trying to price a business they haven't fully designed yet. And when someone pushes back and says, your price is outrageous, the nervous system actually steps in and takes over. So today I'm going to walk you through a real client case study. And of course, it's anonymous. And this study shows why pricing feels emotional and how it becomes calm once the structure is actually in place. It's about building a business that can explain its prices without apology. This client is a project-based service company with 2 owner-operators. They're highly skilled, they have a really strong reputation, and they have good demand. And their stated goals were super clear. Break into the next revenue tier and hit a 15% net profit. They also wanted to make sure that they built stability instead of riding out cash flow swings. And on the surface, it all looked really reasonable and doable. But underneath, they were operating the way most owner-led businesses do. They were priced by feeling, and they were adjusting quotes based on client reaction. And they filled gaps reactively and let the bank account act as their main decision maker. So when a client challenged their pricing, it didn't just feel like feedback. So a key truth is that their pricing wasn't supported yet by the real annual overhead, the budget, the defined owner compensation, the growth planning, or a sales process that made sure that we're standing in front of the right clients. So every quote carried emotional weight. And when you don't know what your business actually requires to operate and grow, pricing then becomes personable, and personal pricing creates reactive leadership. So the first thing we did was not touch pricing at all. We actually looked at the budget. We looked at the 2024 actual. We looked at the 2025 projected increases, staffing plans, marketing spend, owners' pay, and capacity constraints. Then optimism. We just figured it out. Just real numbers. Because if pricing doesn't come from confidence, because pricing not only comes from confidence, it comes from absolute clarity. And when you know where your numbers are and where they came from, you can actually stand on them and defend them. So once the numbers were visible, something actually shifted. They stopped asking the question, can we charge this? And started asking the question, what does the business require in order for us to be able to charge this? So that's a CEO question. And here's the metaphor that changed how they saw their business. They felt like they were treating themselves like a convenience store brand while delivering a fine experience. Premium process, calm leadership, clear communication, super high trust. But their pricing and presentation match that level. So premium business don't justify their price emotionally. They justify it through process, providing experience, being clear with the clients, and consistently showing up in the ways that they have stated they will. And once they own that identity, price stops feeling like arrogance. Let me say that again. Price stops feeling like alignment. So next, we address the phrase every CEO uses at some point. If you don't know your close rate, your pipeline value, your bid aging, in your monthly target math. So we install the simple pipeline tracking rhythm. And now, instead of guessing, they can say how many qualified leads they need per month. They can identify what stage deals are sitting in and whether the issue is volume, pricing, or filtering. Now their hope has been replaced by data. Stress has been replaced by visibility. And they had a gap coming up in February. Instead of panicking, discounting, or saying yes to the wrong work, we used a client reactivation strategy. And the strategy is we've got a short opening and wanted to offer it intentionally to past clients. And that's leadership. So here's what they walked away with. They walked away with a budget-backed pricing model, premium positioning language, a cleaner sales process, pipeline visibility, and confidence that didn't depend on clients' reactions. And I want you to remember this, that stability doesn't come from hustle. Stability comes from structure. And if pricing feels heavy in your business, you're operating without the architecture a CEO needs. And if you're watching this from inside the training platform, pause here and ask yourself, do I have a real annual budget? Pricing tied to my reality? A sales process I trust and works repeatedly? Do I have visibility into my pipeline? If not, you've identified a systems issue. Here's the good news. Systems are solvable.